Good evening, BookTube. Tonight I'm going to do the currently reading tag. You might have noticed I'm now sitting in front of the bookshelf. In the past, I did mention that my books are not a pretty sight to behold because a lot of book series, I don't have all the books from the same print run, so they don't match. But somebody suggested to me that I should sit in front of my bookshelf to make my videos more aesthetically pleasing. So here you go. From now on, I will be filming in front of my ugly bookshelf. Anyway, but it's part of the evolution of this channel, making it look better. The wooden panels that I usually sit in front of are to my left here. So, the currently reading tag. I'm not going to say if anyone tagged me and who started this tag, because then I'd feel compelled to add more names to my shout out video, which will come at an undisclosed date in the future. I already filmed it, and I don't want to reshoot it with more names. So that's why I'm not going to mention any other booktubers on this video because of that. Except for one, which I've already mentioned in my shout out video. The person I will tag. You'll find out later. And forgive the background noise. Okay, without further ado, let's go. Prompt number 1. How many books do you usually read at once? 2. So I read my main book, which is currently Archangel by Robert Harris, and another one, which is, I have 3 other books that have bookmarks in them, but I'll only read one other one to complement this one. And those other 3 books I won't mention now because I've mentioned them too often in the past. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. And ironically, I am sounding like a broken record because I keep repeating that same phrase. Okay, let's keep going. Prompt number 2. If you're reading more than one book at a time, how do you decide when to switch to reading the other book? Do you read a certain amount of pages in each? So yeah, I read 2 books at once. Usually I read several pages. I go all the way through. I read all the way through, sometimes with shorter books. But if I'm in the mood, or if I feel like the other book is calling to me, I'll take it out and read like 2 to 4 pages. No more than that. But not more than that. So occasionally I'll flip to the other book if I feel it's calling to me. But otherwise I'll just read the whole of my main book through, if that makes sense. So sometimes I'll feel called to one of my other books, so I just satisfy that need and read 4 pages before going back to my main book. Okay, oh, right, about the pages. So yeah, 4 pages, and yeah, I already mentioned that. Oh, I'm trying not to repeat myself here. Prompt number 3. Do you ever switch bookmarks while you're part way through a book? Usually not. I'm a huge fan of these clasp bookmarks. These magnetic clasp bookmarks. And I have a bookmark collection, so usually I don't flip bookmarks. But for instance, if I just got a book out of a used bookstore or a new book from a new bookstore, on the rare occasion that is, or if I just got a book out of the library or I'm borrowing it from a friend, sometimes I like slip in a shopping list or a receipt or something, or a piece of scrap paper when I'm out of reach of my bookmarks. And then when I get home, I switch that random piece of paper or an airplane ticket or something, you know, I switch that random piece of paper with a proper bookmark. So yes, I tend to switch it, but only when I'm not in reach of my bookmarks. So there you go. Problem number 4. Where do you keep the book you're currently reading? Usually by my bedside, on a tabletop by my bed, or in my utility vest pocket. Utility vest pocket, or on my bedside. I carry it everywhere with me. Okay. Problem number 5. What time of day do you spend the most time reading? Usually during my during lunch break and during lunch and breakfast. So during meal times are when I read, and but sometimes also in the evening before I go to bed. I'll do a lot of reading by then, and by a lot, very very minimal actually compared to other booktubers who are voracious readers. But during meal times and just before bed. So that would be like at the breakfast table, while I'm having my lunch. At dinner, usually not, but just before bed, I'm reading. And just before bed is when I'm reading a lot, by my standards. Okay. Prompt number 6. How long do you typically read in one go? It could be anything from 10 to 20 minutes. So I might have a 20-minute session reading. I could go for hours near the end of the book if it gets exciting. If the build-up is really high, I can read several chapters which would otherwise take me maybe 3 days to a week to finish. I'd have this mad dash near the end, which I could have all in one day. And that would be like I'd be reading for like a couple of hours. But usually when I start a book, it's slow progress, and I have these 20-minute reading sessions. Okay, problem number 7. Do you read hardcovers with the dust jacket on or off? With the dust jackets on. I didn't realize that you can just take it off whenever you want. I thought the dust jackets were so your dirty fingers don't get on the delicate hardcover. Not just protecting it from dust, but protecting it from your fingers. So I would say keep it on. Keep the dust jacket on. Yeah. I didn't realize that some people take them off. Because if they take them off, I would think they keep them off. Which doesn't make sense because the dust jackets are very nice. Anyway, prompt number 8. Which position do you mainly use to read? So, I often read in bed, so I often lie on my stomach and on my chest as I'm reading in bed. And I'm also very fond of reading outdoors. And when I'm reading outdoors or in the car during a long drive along a straight road, along a straight highway, I would be sitting upright. But I don't read usually in my armchair or or on the couch or anything, sitting upright like so. Usually that's only when I'm in the car or outdoors. When I read outdoors, I sit on a park bench and read. Otherwise, I'd be reading lying down, lying forward. All right. Yeah, that links up to where I read: in bed and outdoors, and sometimes in the car or on a plane, and in a train. So when I'm on the move, outdoors and in bed. Which was where do you read? Which was actually a prompt from the BookTube newbie tag. Prompt number 9. Do you take the book you're currently reading with you everywhere you go? Absolutely. Sometimes, if I'm not wearing my vest, I carry it around, and people mistake me for some Bible thumper. Otherwise, I keep it in my vest pocket, like I mentioned in the earlier prompt. Okay, prompt number 10. How often do you update your progress in the book you're currently reading on Goodreads? I'm not on Goodreads. I should be on Goodreads. I can offer people advice on reading certain books. I give them my reviews, so their recommendation. It helps them pick out books. But I'm not too huge on social media. I'm not on Instagram. I am on Facebook, but it's only for a few friends. And I am on YouTube, but I'm not really big on a lot of social media. And the reason is I just prefer YouTube because I can make connections better here. I can do networking better here compared to Goodreads. Yeah, that's selfish, but there you go. So I'm not on Goodreads. Prompt number 11. Who would you like to tag? And now I will give my one shout out for this video, whom I already gave a shout out in my shout out video, which is coming in the future. Ecofictology with Lovis Geier. Oh, I love this booktuber. Lovis likes to talk about her reading habits as well. I hope I used the proper pronoun there. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening. That's my tag. Goodbye.